Hello and welcome to Betfred's football show. Do not adjust your sets. It's not a snooker show. We have got Ken Doherty, but we are talking football over the next few minutes or so. Of course, huge news this week in the world of football. Well, the worst kept secret in the world, really, wasn't it? The appointment of Erik Ten Hag. They did say they went for the Dutch Cup final. He lost that. Well, that's not a sign of what's to come. 2-1, of course, as boss of Ajax. But he has come through the door at Old Trafford. It has been announced a 3-year deal for him, Ken. And for me, I'm not sure that's enough time to sort out what needs to be sorted out.
He might need a 30-year deal to try and sort out the problems we have at Manchester United at the moment. I mean, look, he's sort of a little bit of an unknown quantity as far as a lot of us that follow the Premiership are concerned. He comes with a great reputation, don't get me wrong, and he's got great experience, and he's obviously held in high regard by the powers that be. So it remains to be seen. Ralph Rangnick came with a great reputation, but we're still waiting to see the fruits of that. And I just don't know. I mean, I don't know why they didn't get Conte. I don't know why Pochettino wasn't targeted a little bit more rigorously. But listen, Ten Hag has come. Let's see what he does, and hopefully he will bring that sort of brand of football and instill something into that club, because we need sort of some injection of authority and discipline within that team and within that club, and he'll have to strip it bare from top to bottom. It's not going to be an easy job.
No, Ajax did really well. They claimed maximum points in the Champions League group, of course. But we need to make sure now this is not the latest in a long line of mistakes. I mean, we spoke to Dennis Taylor a little earlier, and we talked about David Moyes. Did they get rid of him too soon? Yeah. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he came in, was that the right appointment? Yeah. They ranked interim. A lot of people question the idea of an interim manager.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, look at after the defeats that happened, before Solskjaer got sacked. Particularly that one at Watford. It was at a very, very new low, and maybe something had to be changed. I would have preferred for Solskjaer to stay until the end of the season, because I haven't seen any difference, to be honest. In fact, some of the performances have actually been worse than when Solskjaer was there. So, and particularly the Liverpool performances, which I was at the Old Trafford match and sitting in the Stretford end watching, the demoralising defeat, against Liverpool. Something that you think these United fans or players would get themselves up for, but there was no fight in them at all. So hopefully the new man will come in and he'll bring some sort of new impetus into the training, into their psyche, and into that dressing room, and bring some players in, because I think it has to be stripped bare and sort of start from scratch. Clean the slate, give them all a chance, but bring whatever players he brings in, bring a new philosophy in, and start from there.
4 games against Manchester City and Liverpool this season, 15-1 defeat. I mean, but where does he start? You used to mention the players. Does he strip it back? Does it the training ground, getting them fitness? I mean, where does he begin?
Well, I think it is definitely within that dressing room, because there's something not right in that dressing room. Nobody knows what it is, but it's definitely there's something. It cannot be right, because it cannot be. They've got really quality players. They have
internationals.
They're all international players. They're quality players. But they're not fighting, they're not playing, they're not shutting down. I mean, you look at that Liverpool team, you look at that Man City team, you look at even the Everton game, and how much, even though I know they're struggling and all, but how much they work for each other. And United at times just don't seem to have that fight, and that's not like the United I grew up watching, United I've supported since I was a kid, so I hope that, and as Roy Keane quite rightly put it the other night, it was sad. It was actually sad watching it, because one shot on target in the whole 90 minutes. That's not a United team, And these guys have been paid millions, for their transfers and producing, giving nothing back to the fans, and that's not right,
What has happened? I mean, the badge, Roy Keane's a great example, Gary Neville's an example. The badge means so much. That Red Devil badge means so much. Yeah. Why to these bunch of players?
I don't know. There's some sort of cancerous cell within that dressing room, and I don't know why. And listen, it's down to graft, down to hard work, but it's also down to confidence as well. Maybe they just shot of confidence as well, and that might be part of it. But something has to be shaken up, and very, very quickly. And he's given 3 years. It may take him that to get any success. Hopefully it won't. That he can bring something. And don't forget as well, he's competing against great sides. Liverpool and Man City, 2 great sides, 2 of the best in the world. So that's always going to be difficult. But it's the other performance against the other teams. That's more worrying for Manchester United fans.
And there's talk of investment in the stadium as well. Do you believe in that, or is that more?
No,
stuff
I think Gary Neville is spot on. I mean, not only the stadium, but also obviously the training. He knows a lot more than us fans know about training facilities. They have to be spot on and keep up with the rest of the teams, the Chelseas, even the Arsenals and the Tottenhams, and particularly Liverpool and Manchester City. And there needs to be a revamp of the stadium. Going to the stadium is very tired, it's very aged, and the owners have been taking money out of the club for a long, long time. It's about, I know they have, they've helped the managers with transfer, but they really need to invest and invest heavily. Otherwise, we'll be just like not even a top 4 club. We'll be just like a top 6 club, and that's going back to the 70s, and we don't want to go down that road.
No, well, we'll talk about the top 4 shortly, but I mentioned Dennis Taylor a little earlier, obviously a fellow world champion like yourself in the world of snooker, but he's a big Manchester United fan, so let's get his thoughts on the appointment of the Dutchman Erik ten Hag.
He's got his work cut out because he's going to have to change an awful lot there, but he is one of those sergeant major types, and I think he will. I think he'll get the best out of the players, but he's got a job in his hand. Because when you look, every time I look at the team and I'm going to watch them, you think, well, look at the players they have, the people that can score goals, but it's just not happening. So something definitely needs to be done, and hopefully he'll be the one that'll turn it around, because the fans at Old Trafford deserve better than they're getting at the moment, that's for sure.
You're right, it's a team full of internationals, isn't it? So the talent is still there. It's just got to get
the talent's there. Is getting them to work together, and they're all pretty fit, but I think they'll be even fitter whenever he comes in. He'll definitely put them through the ringer, I would imagine.
Yeah, Dennis Taylor, and similar sentiments to yourself, Ken, but we ended just a moment ago about talking about top 4, maybe even a top 6 side. Look, top 4 looks to have gone now, doesn't it? Not only the performance against Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea the next 2 games. Top 4 Champions League football, is that a distant dream now?
Well, I think so, particularly after Arsenal beating Chelsea last night. It was a great result for them, bad result for us. We played them on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. I'd like to see a better performance and see what happened. You never know in football, because but on current form, you wouldn't sort of hold United like in high hopes for that match. But listen, I'm a true United fan. I always believe I'm the eternal optimist as far as United are concerned, and I always believe they can turn around, from one performance, a bad one, into a good one, and. Hopefully we need a really good one on Saturday, but at the moment it doesn't look like it.
Well, 6 points is a must, isn't it, in terms of that fight. But talk about top 4, we look at the 2 North London sides, it's like nobody wants that 4th place. Tottenham being defeated by Brighton, Arsenal's at 3 defeats on the bounce. All right, a good result against Chelsea, but they've still got big games, and the North London derby is going to be pivotal, but it's there for the taking.
Yeah, it's there for the taking, and if United can beat Arsenal, on Saturday, well then they're back in the hunt, so... there's a few good games to go, and this will be a tough one. Chelsea will be a tough one for sure. But if they can manage to win on Saturday, you just never know. Arsenal could crumble, Spurs could crumble, the pressure could get to both of them. And as I said, I'm the eternal optimist. I'll always believe they have a chance until it's mathematically.
It's
never over until it's over.
No, so it's just shame that Chelsea were playing them at Old Trafford, because I'd fancy them at Stamford Bridge. They're awful at home. Chelsea, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. But now, listen, if they win on Saturday, it might give them some sort of confidence or whatever. And Chelsea at home. Yeah, anything is possible, I wouldn't be fearing Chelsea the way they're playing at the moment.
No, it's not over till it's over. Still holding a hope for United at first spot. Certainly not going to win it, though. Who is?
I hope Man City. And I say that as a complete United fan.
It's the last one to hear. Fred does his own.
It's the noisy neighbours against the Scousers. So, no, I mean, both teams are playing amazing. Liverpool are an incredible team. To watch them, even though, it was sad as a United fan, but to watch them up close, the way they play at Old Trafford was incredible. See Salah in his pomp was amazing. And the way they work hard, the way they play, the fast, the speed of passing, movement, shutting down, it's quite incredible. Man City are exactly the same. Brilliant, 2 brilliant teams. It's been a wonderful Premiership season so far, not only at the top, but at the bottom as well. and it'll go right to the wire. I think it could even go on goal difference. So it's been fantastic. Both great teams and great managers as well.
Yeah, certainly is, and of course it's a Merseyside derby this weekend. I mean, Liverpool, Everton, two teams obviously needing points for very different reasons. I mean, imagine Liverpool could obviously go top with a victory and then could condemn Everton to potential relegation. I mean, it's a huge game.
It is a massive game, so I'll be in with JP, John Parrott's Corner, the Toffees, and we'll be shouting for the Toffees this weekend, and I hope he'll be shouting for United against Arsenal. But yeah, it's a massive game. I've been to Everton's ground as well, Goodison. What a wonderful atmosphere it is there. I'd hate to see Everton go down, to be honest. I'd love them to stay up. They've got a great tradition of football, and they've got a good young manager there, Frank Lampard. I know he's sort of cutting his teeth, but he's very, very good. I think he will be very, very good for Everton, and I hope they can stay up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important at home form, a huge point for them, of course, against Leicester midweek with that late equaliser. Can they use that as a catalyst to go on and survive in the Premier League this season? Right, finally, the game, we have touched on it then. Get your proper thoughts on the game on Saturday. Saturday lunchtime, United head to the Emirates. It's a massive game in the context of top four. I say a massive game. United can't lose. What about this news, this confirmation of Ten Hag? Could that be a catalyst for a much better performance?
Well, I hope so. They need some inspiration from somewhere. I hope Ronaldo will be back as well, of course, which will make a big difference to the team. And I hope that they can get something. I mean, the last time I was there, United lost 2-0 to them at the Emirates. It's a great stadium. They've got a great bunch of young players as well, and I like what Arteta has been doing to Arsenal. He seems like a really good guy, and he's instilled a lot of the great qualities that he would have learned from Pep Guardiola over the years. But yeah, it's going to be a very tough game, very tough place to play. And but look, here's hoping. You never know that we can get something out of the game, and hopefully that will be a springboard for the rest of the season.
You never know what Arsenal are going to talk. I mean, they were awful against Crystal Palace. Shocking. Poor against Brighton. Right, they did all right. They played well against Southampton, still got beat. I don't think they were that good midweek. I thought Chelsea were really poor. 4 shots on target.
I know, and also like their strikers are not scoring goals. So a lot of goals are coming from all the team basically, not from really the front men as you would suggest. So they're sort of lacking a front man, a proper number 9 since Aubameyang went to Barcelona. So but they've got some great young players though, great wingers, very fast, and good passing side, press the ball well. So a very good side. I think if they get a couple of players, they could be a real force next season. But I think they're vulnerable without a doubt, and this is where the pressure comes on, trying to get into that top 4. There's a lot of pressure on those players, a lot of pressure on the manager. So I think United will go there sort of saying that we don't have a chance of top 4 and may play a little bit more freely. So that's what I'm hoping.
So United to win at the weekend, United still to get in the top 4, and now Ten Hag's in a title challenge next season.
Definitely not next season. Maybe in season 2 or 3.
Forever the optimist then. Great to hear Ken's thoughts, of course. A huge week of news in the world of football with Manchester United appointing Erik Ten Hag on a 3-year deal. That was a highlight, and a big weekend of games. Arsenal versus Manchester United, as you say, and the Merseyside derby with repercussions at top and the foot of the table. Thanks for watching.